Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Editorial. A lot of people say that, ये united opposition and all that, what they are planning to, कुछ नहीं होने वाला है. Nothing is going to happen with this united opposition. A lot of people say, no, united opposition, if they all united, of course, look at the math. They will come into power. In fact, I have never seen so much enthusiasm, so much spirit, especially in the Congress party, that I have not seen that since 2014. I didn't see this kind of spirit in 2019 too. Tremendously spirited. And they feel that, they are going to come into power. Let's discuss this threadbare. Let's get right into the show. Now, a lot of people, lot of intelligentsia, political experts, they say that, ये opposition united brigade. All this is not going to happen. All this is good in paper. These figures, 40% BJP, so 60% opposition, 60% comes together, so you can defeat BJP. All this is not practically possible. It will never happen on ground. Thodi na kya, all opposition can come together. There will be few parties who will not join the opposition, who will possibly align with BJP or who will possibly tacitly support BJP or whatever. So many things can happen. So all that 60% coming to one party and all is not possible. So, a lot of people say this math will not work. Secondly, a lot of people say that, listen, how can this math work? Because it is not necessary that 60% is going to one particular party. 60% is going to multiple parties. So, the chances are that if 40% is going to one party, the chances are that that party will do well in terms of number of seats. Vote share, theek hai. Number of seats this party may do well. So that also is possible. Vote share doesn't mean, vote share is not equal to the number of seats. We all know that. So if a party, to just give you an explanation, if a party starts winning with large number of votes in each of their seats, then their vote share will be very high. But if the party wins with a small margin, the vote share will be less, but the number of seats will be more. So vote share or number of seats, you can't equate that. So wo bhi hai. So all that is correct. That is right. So that's what people say. And people say that, let us wait and watch whether the opposition will come together. Pehle wo to dekhe. Okay, theek hai. Now the opposition, they are very gung-ho about it. Opposition has three logics. Opposition says that 2019 mein, the way they could manage to sweep the states in Lok Sabha election, like Rajasthan, while Congress won the assembly, but, BJP sweep the Lok Sabha. Same way, TMC sweep the state and, Maharashtra, of course, both ways. They did well. Even state at that point in time was Shiva Sena and BJP, and BJP sweep the state in Maharashtra, Karnataka. I said, see, that's not going to happen. The way they sweep the states last time, this time it is not going to happen, because this time around, a lot of states are quite well in the control of the opposition, and the opposition is really working hard to ensure that what happened last time will not happen again. So they say, wo nahi milega, itna seats ka itna nahi milega states. So that's the first point they're making. The second point they're making is the anti-incumbency is definitely there. Whether you say it or whether you don't say it, whether the mainline media mentions it or whether the mainline media doesn't mention it, anti-incumbency has definitely set in. So that's also going to be another advantage. And the point is, the opposition is very, very confident that we will be united. Come hail, come high water. We will unite. And even if you have to compromise and all that, internally we are all ready for that. This is what the opposition says. Okay, so 2 points. Both looks very logical, by the way. Both looks possible. Like I said, we are no astrologers to say this. But the point I want to make today is, let us look at this entire thing from a marketing perspective. And let us take a few lessons from history. See, in marketing, there is a major rule. The rule says, know your competition. Know who you are competing with. If you know your competition, you can compete in that market. If you don't know who your competition is, you will not stand a chance. So, let's know who opposition is competing with. Okay, na? And I talked to you about history. Now, why I say about history is because, see, In 1977, the opposition was not competing against Congress right after the emergency, if you remember. They were not competing against the Congress. In 1977, they were competing against a person called Indira Gandhi. So Congress was nowhere. Indira Gandhi was the figure. Likewise, in 2024, there is no BJP. The person that this entire united opposition is competing with is Narendra Modi. It is Narendra Modi versus others at the moment. At the moment. And I will try and prove you my point as always through some figures. Now, let us look at some states and let us look at their Lok Sabha figures, percentage of vote, and assembly percentage of vote. Lok Sabha, mind you, the vote was for Narendra Modi. Assembly was for their regional leaders, etc. ठीक है ना? So, if you look at Rajasthan, Rajasthan polled 61.13% vote in Lok Sabha elections and 38.77% vote in assembly elections. 61 Lok Sabha, 38 assembly election. What does that mean? People voted for Narendra Modi in the Lok Sabha and voted for regional parties. The vote percentage was far lesser. Let's go to Gujarat. 62% for Lok Sabha and 52% in assembly. Mind you, Gujarat is a Bharatiya Janata Party state, but yet Lok Sabha, as assembly elections, the vote that Bharatiya Janata Party got was lesser than Lok Sabha. Let's go to Karnataka. 51.38% for Lok Sabha and 36% for Rajya Sabha. Look at the difference. Madhya Pradesh 58%, 41%. Bihar 23%, 19%. West Bengal 40%, 37%. Maharashtra 27.87% and 25.75%. This is the only state that you can say has come close. And Uttar Pradesh too. Again, these are all Bharatiya Janata Party states, even state and center. But Uttar Pradesh too, the Lok Sabha, Bharatiya Janata Party got 49.98% and in assembly it got 41.29%. What does these figures prove? These figures very clearly prove that people are voting, more people are voting for Narendra Modi than for Bharatiya Janata Party. People are not too keen on voting for Bharatiya Janata Party. Bharatiya Janata Party is incidental. It is Narendra Modi that they are voting for. And if Narendra Modi is what you are voting for, then the competition is not fighting with Bharatiya Janata Party. It is not Congress versus Bharatiya Janata Party or DMK versus Bharatiya Janata Party or Shiv Sena versus the Bharatiya Janata Party. It is all of them versus Narendra Modi. That is what Lok Sabha is going to look at. Unlike the assembly elections, which could be different. This is all these parties versus Narendra Modi. Now let us go back to 1977. 1977, you had Indira Gandhi and all the opposition parties there. All the opposition, most lot of them jumped from Congress and all of that. Indira Gandhi was what they were competing with. But could all these opposition guys come together and defeat Indira Gandhi? They could. You know what? Why? Because Indira Gandhi was not competing with these opposition united. Indira Gandhi was competing with a gentleman called Jayprakash Narayan, who was the leader. The point that I am trying to make is you can only compete apple to apple, cola to cola. Coca-Cola cannot compete with Fanta. Coca-Cola will compete with Pepsi. Apple to apple. If you are competing with Narendra Damodar Das Modi, then you need a leader. I am not saying, therefore, your prime ministerial, I am not going to put all these adjectives to that. Prime ministerial candidate, conveyor, ऐसा कुछ नहीं बोल रहा हूँ. What I am trying to say is, if you are competing with Narendra Modi, you need to compete with another leader. A group of parties cannot compete with Narendra Modi. A leader can compete with Narendra Modi. What the united opposition technically needs to do is to create that leader. Create that leader, give a push to that leader, build that leader, promote that leader, glorify that leader and make that leader compete with Narendra Modi. A group of parties cannot compete with an individual. It is not going to happen. History has proven it. If it wasn't for Jayprakash Narayan, this Janata Party would have never happened in 1977 and Janata Party would have never got power in 1977. And the moment he took his hands off Janata Party, plung, everything collapsed. He was the man who was holding this Janata Party together. He didn't want to compete elections. He didn't want to stand for elections. He didn't want to get into politics like a lot of other people, like Mahatma Gandhi, like Bala Sahib Thackeray. Lot of leaders we know who didn't stand for election, but who pull a party together. The point that I am trying to say, it is high time that the opposition party strategizes things to create a leader who can compete with Narendra Modi. Now, if you look at it, there's a ready leader already there, and that is Rahul Gandhi. Now, again, whether Rahul Gandhi is a good prime ministerial candidate, no, my views I have already mentioned, but take it, that is a different debate altogether. But he is quite capable of standing up and competing with Narendra Modi is because he is already doing it. He possibly is the only leader who is doing it nationally and who is doing it continuously. So Rahul Gandhi is something that they can look at because it's a ready-made leader and a ready-made leader ready to compete with the brand leader. But then, one shouldn't say that if no Rahul Gandhi, then nothing. Mamata Banerjee could do it. With a slight polish, I think Arvind Kejriwal could do it. But whether he will get that kind of support from across the country, I don't know. But Mamata Banerjee definitely can do it. So the point that I'm trying to make here is two. One is, listen, you know what? You're not competing with Bharatiya Janata Party, you're competing with Narendra Modi. That perspective has to be very clear. The next time this opposition group sits to strategize, that should be very clear. So it is not a political party, it is a person. And a person can compete with a person. And that person needs to be built starting today. Built, promoted, pushed, glorified, everything starting today, so that by 2024 you have a strong leader who answers, if not Narendra Modi, who? Again, I repeat to conclude that I am not saying therefore that leader is going to be the next prime ministerial face of the next prime minister. I am saying you need a leader to compete with Narendra Modi. That's it. Call him whatever name you want. That's the point I wanted to make. Till I see you next time. That's tomorrow at 10. Namaskar.